Hey guys, I want to just share with you about the incident that happened at Havenwyck Hospital yesterday. I'm still a little shaken up about it, so I'm not going to share too many posts right now, but I will repost about the good things. My children were finally able to see their brother for the first time in a year and a half, so I will post about that. I just want to make sure that I get this business on camera and just taken care of so that you guys can know what happened. I went to Havenwyck facility to request a copy of my son's medical records. I was met at the door by the psychiatrist. The psychiatrist is a male. He's taller than my son. He's a big guy. He's about 6, maybe 3, maybe 6'3.5". Also, there was my son's therapist. She's a female. And then there was this other male who I'm not sure who he was. At one point, I ended up asking him what his name was, and the psychiatrist said, "Oh, this is my resident. He just follows me around." Well, the psychiatrist is standing at the door. My son is there. My son kind of has to bend down and come around him to go see his siblings. And the psychiatrist is standing there, very confrontational, speaking to me in front of my children about just how he's not going to give me my son's medical records. He needs to know why I need my son's medical records. I asked him to sign a paper stating that he refused to give me the medical records. His statement was, "Come on now, you're in psychology school. Do you think that I'm really going to sign this letter?" Now, he stated this in front of the therapist, his resident, my children. Other staff was there inside the building, so they heard him. So I gave him the written letter requesting my son's medical records, and I let him know in the letter that if he does not produce my child's medical records, that there will be legal actions taken. I also gave the therapist a letter requesting the policy and procedures for the facility again, because I've given this letter a year ago. I asked her, did they have one available there right now that I could physically take with me? She told me no. She told me that I had to contact Marilyn, who is the medical records person. So I called her while I was there, and she said, "Well, I don't have the policy and procedures for over there. I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to." Run around. So I take my children. I take them to my car so that they can visit, because I asked my son's probation officer if my son could at least come to the car to visit with my children, because they haven't seen him in a year and a half, and I have to take them with me. My 7-year-old was crushed when he found out where we were going and that he couldn't see his brother. So the therapist decided that, yes, they can, visit, but it has to be in the parking lot. Fine. So after I gave the letters to the psychiatrist and the therapist, I take my children to my car so that they can have their visit. Well, the psychiatrist, these 3 people, the psychiatrist, the therapist, and this man, follows me to the car. I'm sitting in a driver's seat. He's standing over me, still speaking to me confrontationally. Now, I keep stating that for this reason. 1, this is very unprofessional. 2, I experienced domestic violence, and my children watched that incident. Now, they are all standing, watching this man stand over me, speaking to me confrontationally. This is very intimidating. This is very unprofessional. No man should ever walk to a woman, invade her personal space, stand over her, and speak to her confrontationally. No man should ever do that, because they never know what this woman has been through. So anyway, they end up finding a room in the building where my children can visit with their brother. So, okay, that was fine. We went in, we're playing. Me and my children, we do things together like all the time. And so since my son has been gone, we still, try to do family night, but it's just not the same, because one of us is missing. So we're playing games at the table. We're having such a good time. And then here these three come again. He's standing over me again, trying to convince me to leave my children and to go upstairs to have a meeting with him. I let him know that there was no way that I was going to meet with him and this therapist alone. I do not trust them, and there's absolutely no way that that's going to happen. So he stands there, continues to try and convince me. He threatened me, told me that if I continue on in this manner, and this manner I'm assuming is me being professional, me having things in writing, me keeping things on record. I'm assuming he's stating that his lawyers will destroy me. I'm assuming that's how I took the threat, because he's telling me to stop doing what I'm doing, and what I'm doing is keeping things in writing. I'm being very professional, and everything is on record. So that is what I'm doing. So he's telling me to stop being professional, or this is going to turn out bad for me. That's a threat. Also, he said something, I can't remember his exact words, but my statement was, so you're saying if I do what you want me to do, then you'll release my son's records? He says, yeah, probably. Now, he says this to me in front of his staff, the therapist, this guy his resident, and also my children. So I'm trying to, visit with my children and enjoy watching them visit with each other while he's standing here trying to convince me to leave and go have this meeting. So it was left at, okay, well, you think about it and you let me know what your decision is. And so my statement was, my decision is already made. There's no way I'm meeting with you guys alone. So this is just, this whole situation is just absolutely crazy, because you don't threaten a parent. You do not deny a parent's rights to have her child's records. You do not tell me that you need to know why I need my son's records. I have custody of him. That is my son. I do not have to explain to you why I need his records. That is illegal. You cannot do that. So I just wanted to explain to you guys the situation. I was so shook up. My therapist actually called me on the way back, because I had a panic attack on the way down there, because prior to me even getting on the road, I'm on the phone with the facility, letting them know that I'm on my way to get the medical records, and they're giving me the runaround. They're hanging up on me. They're transferring me to voicemails. It was just crazy, and I just did not this situation is so stressful for me that now today, as I mentioned in other posts, that I have to watch my health because my body is affected when I'm really stressed out. Well, now today my legs are weak. I'm walking with my cane. They're shaky, this facility cannot continue to treat people the way that they are. Because look at how it's affecting my family. Now, I'm not sure what's going on with other families there. What I do know is what is going on with my family, it will stop. It's going to stop. The impact that it's had on my family has been great. This has had a great impact on my family. So I know you guys, Havenwyck, are watching, because the therapist also, or the psychiatrist also, told me not to post on the internet. But absolutely, I'm letting the world know what I'm going through with this facility, what you said to me, how you tried to intimidate me, how you stood over me, speaking to me confrontationally in front of my children. I have a 7-year-old, 4-year-old, 8-year-old. My eldest is 15. My eldest was affected by the domestic violence that I experienced because he felt helpless that he couldn't do anything. Now he's watching you stand over his mother and speak to me confrontationally. Don't appreciate that. That was wrong, and it should not have happened. So, you know, I was telling you that my therapist had called me on the way home. So I spoke with her for about 10 to 15 minutes because, you know, the whole time while all of this is going on, I'm trying to conduct myself because I don't want to, you know, react in a way that's going to make my children cry or be fearful or, you know, like I know they already felt a certain type of way with him speaking to me like that. So I'm just trying to stay as calm as I can. So I processed with my therapist for about 10 or 15 minutes on my way home, you know. So, I don't know. These are just the effects of dealing with this facility. I've done nothing wrong. Only thing I've done was ask for what is rightfully mine. And for parents who are watching, who are going through things like this, if this is your child and you have custody and you go to a facility, or if you go to JDF, wherever your child is at, and request any type of records for your child, they are required to give them to you. You do not have to tell anyone why you need anything that you are asking for regarding your child. That is your child, and you have the right to have their records. So we need to band together and stop these facilities from trying to intimidate us. We need to educate ourselves so that we know what our rights are and that we know what our state laws are regarding these facilities in JDF. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that. As I stated earlier, I will post because it was a great encounter with my children. So I definitely want to give, you know, a post dedicated just to them. But I had to get out what happened with this facility because, like, I'm still shook up about it. Like, I was supposed to work tonight and I can't. Like, I need to just lay down and rest, you know? So, like, it's just bad. Just bad. But thanks for watching. And please come back for more.